Good day, everyone, and welcome to the Grumpy Old Gamers podcast. You can't teach an old gamer new tricks. This is episode number 59 and a half. And why do I say 59 and a half? Because
we don't want to talk about it.
We attempted to record episode 59 a couple days ago, and I forgot to hit the record button. So this is take two. Plus, some big news has happened since we recorded, and we're going to add that to our podcast. Also, everyone may have noticed, we have the grumpy crew in the house. Brent and Damon are with us.
Hello.
And Rob. Rob's always here.
Hey,
Rob.
Hi, Rob.
I'm like the flu. I never really went away.
A little bit of housekeeping. So, mentioned already, it's 59 and a half. If you would like to support the Grumpy Old Gamers in any way, we have a Patreon, which you go to patreon.com and look up the Grumpy Old Gamers, and you can subscribe for $1, $2, $5 a month. And we've guaranteed that 100% of any profits go back into the show. We are not pocketing anything. Right now we're making $11 a month, so...
And for every donation, Ryan will eat one Carolina Reaper on video.
Okay.
He doesn't know that yet, but he eats it.
Oh, also, last week I added a PayPal as well, and I'll include the link to that in the show notes here. I asked a couple friends, like, "Hey, how come you're not supporting my show?"
Jerks,
jackass. And they're like, "Well, I don't know what this Patreon's about." And, older guys. It's the hip kids that know what the Patreon's about. So, I've added a PayPal link. And unfortunately, I don't think you can search for it. You'll have to get the link out of the show notes. And one last bit of housekeeping. I think tomorrow, someone in our group here is getting a little grumpier and a little older. Damon.
Yeah. I finally get my grumpy old gamer cane, or perhaps the house coat. I'm not too sure which one comes first, but
it's cane, house coat, and then Walker.
And then Walker. Okay, so I get the cane first. Excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent.
No mugs.
It's a big 4-0 for you?
That's right. Yeah.
Oh, that's when your warranty. That's when your warranty officially expires.
That's right. Yeah. Yeah. And I never get the extended warranty. Like, why would you? Right? It's a ripoff, isn't it? Does anybody get? I never got it.
I never get it.
No.
Yeah.
I think I did once in my entire life.
You bring that up, and every time I go to EB Games and buy a game, they're like, "Do you want the game protection on that?" I'm like, on a Switch game? Like, what's going to happen to it? Or, or even a disc? Like, yeah.
Yes, I do, because I'm going to use that card.
And to be honest, I didn't get the extended warranty on either of my replacement hips, and I've been fine. So,
yeah, until icy season.
Yeah, when it gets cold, you know it. Feel it in the bones. Speaking about bones. Sorry, no segue. Carry on, Ryan.
No segue. Oh, I mean, you have something good
one.
there. Like you had a bone to pick, or
it's a PG show. We have to drop this and carry on.
Yeah. So many jokes, so little time.
So many jokes. That's right.
Yeah.
Well, let's get right into the news then. First off, NBA 2K21, 1 month after release, has added unskippable adverts again to the game. So, of course, 1 month, gives enough time for everyone to get their reviews in and maybe comment on how great it is that they don't have the unskippable ads like the last year's version. And then 1 month after release, Yeah.
Have you dabbled in the 2K series of basketball? Anybody?
Yep.
No.
I
Yeah.
have. I played 20. Came in a humble bundle once. I used to play a long time ago, so I was like, oh, I'll give it a try. And I mean, it's fun, but
Like,
evil business practices, like holy mackerel.
yeah, it's a casino. Like,
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah,
you
and
bet.
I don't know, just the direction choices of the game, like having to be connected to EA server, sorry, to I guess it would be Take Two servers, or 2K servers in order to be able to play. Like, if you have your create a character or whatever, like that doesn't carry. Like, if you're offline, I played it 2K19 on the Switch, and anytime I wanted to play and I wasn't actually at home or connected to the internet, it would basically start me from the beginning all over again.
Oh, wow.
And yeah, it was.
Was that the one that was on sale for like $4 or something?
That's the
Yeah.
one. Yeah.
They wanna, yeah, that's the only time I've ever tried
Yeah.
one of the games as well. Not my jam, but you know what is my jam? NBA Jam.
It's good stuff.
It's all right stuff. It's not.
It's all right.
It's all right.
But you know, the problem is people keep buying it.
Yep.
People love them, and until you vote with your dollars, they will continue to do this.
Mhm.
Next in the news, we heard that the PS5 will be using downloadable updates to control fan speed on a game-by-game basis. So they're going to have an initial profile and then monitor the game's fan usage later on with online reports and whatnot, and then possibly send out updates and and everything for the fans. So I don't know, a little Big Brothery, or what do you guys think of that?
Every time I hear that, I can only think about just the deluge of updates that you'd be receiving anytime you log into a game. Like,
5 gig download every time.
right, just for fan curves. Like, it just seems a bit excessive. Yeah. Why can't they just monitor it by temperature like any other fan?
Yeah,
Temperature sensor.
every other fan made for anything ever. You know,
Yeah.
like it's not like it's a new technology that your stove has a thermometer.
Well, maybe
Yeah.
there'll be downloadable updates for the new stoves in the future.
Maybe when Sony starts making stoves, it's
They'll have a
So-
little screen on there. You can use your PlayStation on the stove as well.
Exactly. Transfer
go.
profiles.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a little weird, like, and to kind of announce it as well.
mhm.
It's a new update. It's a new feature.
Yeah.
Hey guys, we don't have launch games, but check out these controllable fan speed patches.
I mean, my PS4 could have used that when I was playing God of War. Man, no game has made my PS4 howl like that one did.
Yep.
Even Last of Us 2 didn't make my PS4 howl like God of War did. So, yeah, something to watch out for in the future, that's for sure.
And unless that was maybe the issue, is that the fan curves were too aggressive, and maybe these patches will bump them down a bit. That's wishful thinking, but
Maybe it's to anticipate the higher optimization.
Could be,
I don't
could
know.
be. But that thing was all heat sink. I mean, the reason why the PS4s are always loud is because they had really, really small heat sinks. The one in the PS5 like takes up most of the PS5.
Yeah, that's true. Anyways, just an interesting note for everybody there. Next up, the creative director at Stadia sent out tweets that streamers should have to pay royalties to game developers on the games that they're streaming. So So I think the analogy that came up last time is, do you, if you buy a hammer at Home Depot, do you have to pay for everything that you build? I don't know. It's a weird issue.
Yeah, I think so. Alex Hutchinson, they've since, because they listed all of his merits and whatnot, and they've actually clarified his role within Stadia. So he's not the creative director at Stadia. He is the creative director at Stadia in Montreal. So Stadia has actually, since then, they've gone on to actually distance themselves from that statement. Right. They actually say they respect and honor the symbiotic relationship between the streamers and the developers or the games themselves. And it's actually kind of...
Sorry,
somebody got slapped down
there. I wasn't
just the sweet irony though is like Stadia was all about the when they initially launched the vision of Stadia, they were showing YouTube clips, and it's like, click here to be able to play or join in, right?
You can join the game and get with them. Yes, absolutely.
So what Alex Hutchinson said kind of just throws shade directly at that whole vision that they had. So I thought that was kind of silly.
Oh yeah,
absolutely. Yeah. So after we finished recording last week, I got a message from one of our regulars on the page. He actually wanted us to talk about that article. Darren Serdakowski. If you've seen his picture, you'd see that he comments on a lot of our stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, he's one of the originals.
Exactly. Yeah. So I told him that we had talked about it but didn't record the episode. But I told him about our analogy there about the Home Depot. And then he brought up the counterpoint. On the other side of it, do you really want train wrecks like Darkside Phil or other controversial streamers playing your game and giving negative association to your branding? And that's just a different look at it, right? Like, if you were able to license, I guess you could cleanse your product in a lot of ways. So I don't know, just another interesting way to look at that.
I can see what he's saying, but it's by the same token, you could say, well, we shouldn't let people do reviews on stuff either, because if it's someone reviews a product that we don't appreciate or something like that, right? Like a YouTube stream is almost like a very simple form of a review, or of you're seeing someone play and get into the game, and you can kind of get an analysis of it. It's I don't know.
Yeah.
It's
well, just like streaming sometimes builds games. Look at Among Us. Like that was
absolutely.
How old is that game, right? And then I'm not sure which streamer picked it up, and then it's just up. Yeah, it's exploded since then.
Yeah.
So it really does propel games.
Yeah, it was 2 years old or something by the time it actually got picked up this summer, because everyone was sitting at home and craving human interaction.
Yep.
So, perfect time for it.
Yeah.
It's blown up so much. I mean, there's Reddits and subreddits and memes, and it's just like gone wild.
So many memes.
So many memes.
This guy sussing this, and this guy going through the vent, and
well, that's where I got sus from. It's like my favorite word, non-word.
So Darren, thanks for reaching out. We appreciate it. You can message us on the page there. You see us around, or you can send us an email at makeusgrumpy@gmail.com. We love interaction with our fans.
We're very lonely ourselves, so we appreciate any interaction you can.
So lonely.
It's been a long 2020, guys.
Yeah.
Is it still 2020?
For the next 5 years.
Well, it's been 17 years since January, so
it feels like it.
Yep.
So the Splatoon 2 Halloween pack is out, and there's 4 costumes in that you can pick up. I mentioned that I missed out on that somehow last year, So I immediately went and got it and got my Jason mask.
Nice.
Put it on. Absolutely. But there's going to be a Splatfest over this weekend. A redo of the Trick or Treat. And Damon, I believe you guys said you guys are on Team Trick.
That's right.
All right.
Yeah, we'll be playing that this weekend.
Yeah. Awesome. I do like that they're still carrying these on. They kind of alluded that they weren't, but since the pandemic came out, they've had I think this is the third one that they've kind of rehashed.
Yeah.
So that's it's good stuff. Splatoon 2, fun game if you haven't tried it.
It's been a really successful game for Nintendo. I just looked up the sales numbers, and it's sold over 10 million copies.
Yeah,
which is pretty good, I think. For anytime I mention Splatoon to somebody, they're like, "I've heard of it, but I've never played it." And I'm like, Nintendo's pretty masterful at making games, and their take on third-person shooters has been really impressive. And is it ever addictive? Oh my god! Yeah.
Yep. I think also the early release on the Switch, like it was out within the first 6 months, 4 months. Like it was a pretty early game in there, and I think that helped it a lot too. And just being a damn good game. And I mean, they added the salmon runs. That was added much later, or was that right from the beginning of it?
I never got on the ground floor. I'm not too sure. But,
okay.
It was there when I picked the game up.
Yeah. Okay. That's their horde mode for people who haven't tried it, and that too addictive as heck.
For frame of reference, Animal Crossing has sold just under 12 million, and yeah.
Oh wow!
And Splatoon's at just over 10, so it's a
crap,
popular game. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm definitely still looking for a copy.
Yeah. Well, if you're willing to dish out 80.
No.
Sometimes
I'm still looking for a copy.
Yeah. Sometimes on sale for $79.99, but usually, yeah.
I think a month and a half ago it was on for 55, but
holy smokes!
Yeah.
Oh, wow, I would have taken that up.
I think we're almost getting to the time where we're going to start seeing Nintendo Selects, right?
Yeah.
We're three years in.
Well, that'd be great
if you can believe that. Next up, Ghost of Tsushima is adding multiplayer raids and challenges. I guess it was always planned, but they never really talked about it. And apparently, this is some good quality stuff. I haven't had a chance to try it yet, and it probably won't for a bit. But yeah, it looks like some good quality stuff. Yeah, the next story here. So, Nintendo announced that they are dropping the price of a single Joy-Con by $10. And why is that a big deal, you ask? Well, to buy a single Joy-Con would cost you Canadian $49.99, which would make it more expensive to buy two single Joy-Cons than to buy two Joy-Cons together. So, they finally announced that they're dropping the price of a single Joy-Con by $10 to make it a little better deal.
Now, Ryan, why would someone ever need to buy one Joy-Con for a drift problem that doesn't exist?
Because they didn't get the extended warranty right.
Oh, right.
There's no drifting. Everything's A-okay.
Working as intended.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
I think I did a good little grumpy rant a couple months back when I was looking at going on to my third set of Joy-Cons because I'm not going to buy a single one and be ripped off.
Mm-hmm.
But, still I've had to buy 3 sets. because of the drift issue. So, so good on you, Nintendo. Yeah. Also, last week Nintendo did kind of a stealth drop of Fire Emblem Shadow Dragon and the Blade of Light, which was their original NES title. The big deal about this is that it's never had a proper English or an official English translation. You've been able to get language packs and whatnot through emulators and stuff, but this is coming out December 4th, and it's what started it all for Fire Emblem. You guys play any or much Fire Emblem?
I have them. Sorry,
yeah.
Go ahead, Damon.
No, I have played some older Fire Emblem, not the Nintendo one. Three Houses is on my backlog. What I've noticed about the Shadow Dragon and the Blade of Light is how quickly it's sold out, the pre-orders, and how quickly they went up on like eBay and stuff for ridiculous prices. That's skyrocketed. Yeah, scalpers are all over that one for whatever reason.
It's because for whatever reason, every Fire Emblem game, if you look back, the North American release of it is, I think it's never one that they produce many of. Because, like, on the Wii, that was one of the first games I kind of discovered, like, what's this Fire Emblem that's worth, like, $100 for for this Wii game, you know? And then, this might be the first generation of it where it's probably not the price isn't gonna skyrocket, but we'll see. Did you see the crazy collector's edition with it though? That yeah, it's pretty awesome.
I'll look it up right now.
It has like, oh crap, I closed that window.
Like a Nintendo cart and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's got the Nintendo cart and
Man,
I think an art book, and
I may have to get that.
it's a pretty substantial special edition. Definitely for fans of for fans and scalpers of
Fans and scalpers, yep.
I mean, I did quite enjoy it. I played a couple of them. The biggest thing for me was I think about the level of seriousness in the game. Like the whole idea with permadeath that, you lose a character, it's gone. There's no starting over. So it lent more of a sense of urgency to the game, and to be a little bit more tactical, to be, a bit less frivolous when you're doing things, and to really pay attention to what you were doing in the game because it mattered.
Right, and I actually heard that the latest edition on Switch, you can opt out of that permadeath mode.
Ah, really?
Yeah, you can switch it off. Yeah.
Switch it off.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Well done.
There.
You can tell someone's almost 40. One
Hours
of
to go.
us. One of us.
Damon, you added this one, or Brent, you added this one here. Dragon Quest XI coming out on
yeah.
Game Pass. You were saying it's been on pre-order for forever.
Yeah, like I downloaded it way earlier this year, like probably in the spring, and kind of forgot about it in my backlog, and I was watching some random gameplay videos, and I was like, oh my god, this actually looks really good. So I was like, wait a minute, I have that on Game Pass. And I went in there, and yeah, it's not playable to December the 4th, which I was assuming because of, some exclusivity deals with other systems. But tried the demo on the Switch, and hell of a lot of fun, and absolutely gorgeous game. And I mean, just from what I played, just the tutorial part of it was like almost 8 hours. So, this is like 100+ hour game. Yeah.
Holy crap, okay.
So it's looking, looks to be like worth the price and really well done. It's like playing a Disney movie. It was such a beautiful looking game. Even the switching from like cutscenes into gameplay was just flawless. So
Nice.
Definitely one I'm looking forward to play.
All right. I've not partaken in any of the Dragon Quest. I don't believe. Like, where's the original Dragon Quest? What was that on?
Oh my god, that was way back.
Would it be like an NES title or?
Yeah, like Famicom, NES.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I may have tried it there, but have not tried any since. So yesterday we got the news that Cyberpunk 2077 is going to be delayed 3 weeks to December 10th.
Sorry.
I don't have a keyboard to throw. Otherwise, I could.
Do a garbage can or something instead.
Ah, that's the secret of the XT keyboard. He doesn't throw the good one.
Go stunt keyboard, yeah.
That's right. Carry on, Ryan. Tell us why CD Projekt Red is making everybody sad.
Well, they're just saying that the biggest challenge you have right now is that there's 9 versions of it coming out. And they just want to make sure that it's good enough across all of them. So you know what? I tell CD Projekt Red, take your time. We will wait.
Get that Stadia version perfect.
Yeah.
Or we're gonna pay for it.
Yeah.
For that guy who pre-ordered it on the Stadia. I mean, good
Yeah.
for him.
Yeah. A funny anecdote with this one, there was a gentleman that had pre-ordered Cyberpunk 2077, and he tweeted CD Projekt Red after they had delayed it, and he's like, okay. He's like, I'm gonna book this week off of work. Are you for sure releasing it on this date? No take backsies. And they were like, absolutely. Yeah. You're
and then
good.
hours later,
go ahead and book it
saw
off.
That.
Yeah.
Oh,
And then
Well,
he did
just
what Rob did, and then threw that thing.
yeah. I'm looking at the article here on Kotaku. It looks like the delay was kept from most of the team up until it was announced, eh?
Oh,
Yeah.
So that HR person was probably like, yeah, no, they told me it's for sure good.
Yeah. No, we're all good.
yeah.
Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
And I think this kind of stuff is actually going to crop up more going into next gen. There's, like 9 different versions of the game. So I think we're going to.
Well,
start
there's
seeing
going
lot
to
of
be a
delays
year.
and
There's
stuff.
going to be a year of it, right? Because they're making it
Yeah.
for the PS4 and the series Xbox One X, One S.
Yep.
Stadia.
Oh, definitely the Stadia. The Vita version is going to be really good.
So they count the one, the Xbox One, the One X, the S, the PS4, the PS4 Pro. So they're every
They're basically-
every yeah.
Wow.
So yeah, and then this morning, Brent delivered some excellent news that there was a Nintendo Direct Mini,
Oh yes.
and yeah, I was definitely excited about it. A little worried at the beginning of it because they started off with Bravely Default, and I don't. I've never played the first one, and the characters and the voice acting that they were showing just did not appeal to me whatsoever.
It was something.
Yeah. Yeah, that jumped out at me right away. I was like,
So, you said you tried the first Bravely Default, Brent?
Yes, I did.
And just
Honestly,
typical
liked it.
typical JRPG.
Yeah, pretty typical stuff. Well done. Actually, never got to finish it. When I saw that, I was kind of stoked for for Bravely Default 2, and and then saw the voice acting and everything. Kind of threw a little bit of spanner in the works, but if I can find a used copy, I'm still going to give it a try, because
or maybe it's
on
just the
the road
dub.
somewhere.
Yeah, maybe the original voice track is in there somewhere. Maybe.
Could be.
Yeah.
Could be.
Then up next they had the Story of Seasons, Partners of Olive Town, and that's a sequel, right, Brent? To
No, that was actually I checked it out later. I
Yeah?
can't remember if I posted or not, but it is actually a brand new.
it's not the Got other friends of whatever
No,
town.
it's not the Friends of Mineral Town one. No,
There,
this is
okay.
actually a brand new game, and kind of stoked
Okay.
for it. Yeah.
It's not from the same studio or anything. Like they just really got the name that close, or
Yeah. No. Well, I mean, basically, they are the makers of that series of game.
oh, okay.
But
But it has nothing to do with it. It's just okay.
no, it has nothing to do with any of the previous stuff. So, and that's kind of what they've been doing is I think they've been working on this game and kind of doing remakes of their the stuff that they still had license for, just to kind of keep them going and get the name out for Story of Seasons in the interim while they've been like working hard on this one. But and actually, I mean, for a fan of those type of games, I'm actually pretty hyped for it, especially a new one made by the developers who will actually make it really good.
Yeah. I mean, it looked very much like it was kind of halfway between Stardew Valley and Animal Crossing,
Yeah, it is kind of like that. Animal Crossing and Stardew Valley both kind of came from the old Harvest Moon series, which is the Story of Seasons evolved into with the split in the developer and the studio.
Right. So something to watch out for.
Yeah, it
Definitely.
looks very relaxing.
It really was.
Good chill time there.
So next up was something that caught my attention. I actually thought this was Wastelands or something, but it's Surviving the Aftermath, I believe it's called. Which it's a post-apocalyptic like RPG builder type game. Kind of you don't see many of those on the Switch, but
it actually kind of reminded me of like a phone game almost, like those type of zombie survival games. When I saw it,
yeah,
what?
Yeah,
right.
It had a mobile vibe for sure.
Which means we'll probably play it on Cheap Bad Game Challenge at some point.
Yep. Then they had more gameplay of Phoenix, which is Ubisoft's big multi-platform release. They're not delaying their release, and they're releasing on all 9 platforms.
That's true. And you can play a Stadia demo right now, which I keep meaning to try. But you got to blow the dust off the Stadia controller and sync to the Googles, and it's so hard to get motivated to turn the Stadia on, even though it's like you can play it on anything except phones. You can't play it on phones.
Yeah,
of course.
It's accessible everywhere, but
just if by everywhere you mean a computer or a specific Chromecast, then yes. Or
just not on all the devices that they support.
Yeah.
Millions of them.
It looks amazing. Really looking forward to trying that game. It
does
actually look really, really good.
It does.
Yeah.
I'm not sure where I'm going to play it, but I'll try it somewhere.
Little Breath of the Wild flavor in there.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Big world. And this, correct me if I'm wrong, this is the old God and Monsters game from way back, right? And they just changed the title.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah, they didn't feel that that encompassed what they were trying to sell. So,
right.
That's what they went with. Then they had a little blurb with a few games. Little fast forward with had a new Bakugan. Griftland, which I've heard lots of good things about. What else was there?
I did not know that.
Which Griftlands?
No, I actually missed that part of the video, and then remember I posted the meme after that.
Oh,
so that actually makes it even more funny.
So then you missed Tropico 6 coming?
No,
as well?
I didn't miss.
Yeah.
That I didn't miss.
Oh, you didn't miss that? Okay.
No.
So that was the three games that were covered in that. But then they dropped some serious stuff on us. So they announced Hitman 3 cloud version for the Switch, which was a big deal because in Japan they've been doing this already. There's been the Resident Evil 7 and I believe Assassin's Creed Odyssey, right?
Yeah.
Have been cloud versions, and from what I hear, awesome. Like great ways to experience.
Sure.
So they announced Hitman 3, and then there's probably a little squealing heard because then they announced Control cloud version coming to the Switch.
Ultimate Edition.
Ultimate Edition.
Yeah.
You'll get the next gen upgrade with it.
That's right.
PS5.
So, I think the demo was out today.
Yeah,
I didn't get a chance to try it.
Yep.
Did anyone get a chance to give her a try? No?
No,
Yeah.
not yet.
And then I continued to squeal when the next one came up that they were releasing No More Heroes 1 and 2 today on the Switch. And they showed a little more gameplay of 3.
Yes.
And I haven't had access to my Switch all day. My wife is busy playing Stardew Valley, and if I dare break up her farming, there will be trouble. So
I see a new Switch in your future.
exactly.
Mayhaps one with 4K capabilities and non-portable. Anyway, sorry. Carry on.
So yeah, like there's some big stuff that they dropped in this. Like, I haven't even heard that the cloud, like them talking. There'd never been talk that the cloud stuff was going to be coming to North America, and I guess it seemed inevitable, but they just dropped it today.
Yeah, I think that's even bigger news than the games themselves. Really, is that they're just like, yeah, here it is.
Yeah.
It really like, yeah. No. It's really big news, and yeah, I don't think people realize.
No, they didn't.
Yeah.
Absolutely came out of nowhere, as Damon says, like Masters of the Shadow Drop. I was literally just having coffee and it popped up, and I was like, "Oh damn!" It's like, was there a direct today?
Yeah.
But yeah, big news in it, and I gotta say, this is a direct that I was like, most completely thrilled by all year.
Yeah.
Yep.
So after all the No More Heroes news, they announced Part-Time UFO, which is a side-scrolling puzzler. Looked decent.
Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of want it.
And then they announced that there was a demo out today for Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity. And I also have not had a chance to try that, but something that caught my attention in this footage, and I've been watching a lot of footage on this game, is that they actually have parts where you're playing as the divine beasts from Breath of the Wild.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks amazing.
It does. I actually tried this morning as well, right after the announcement. And the demo plays really well. It's
awesome.
Yeah, seems very polished. I mean,
good.
Not much else to say. It's like every Dynasty Warrior game or Hyrule Warriors game. It plays exactly the same.
Yeah.
Over the top smashing, but it seemed pretty polished for a demo. It was really good. So,
when's its release? Do you know?
It was going to be the day before or after Cyberpunk. So it was like
which time?
November something.
the November time.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it was like it's going to be like November 11th or 12th or whatever that is, right in there.
Yeah, it says at the bottom of the Kotaku article I'm reading, November 20th.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, which is right down the door.
Yeah.
That's a mixed metaphor. Right,
right down the door.
Coming up real soon.
Yeah, because they had scheduled 18th for Cyberpunk, right? I think it was, or the 19th.
Yeah, it was something like that.
Yeah,
sure.
So that's all we got for news. Damon, why don't you start us off with what you've been playing? What you've been playing lately?
So, I've been playing a good variety of games, but I don't know. I picked up a Vita just a short while ago, so I've been digging into some of the PlayStation 1 classics. So actually, I'll start with that. I've been playing a 1995 JRPG, Suikoden. I don't know if anyone has ever heard of this series or played this game.
Oh yeah.
No? Oh, wait, so
Yeah.
Brent's familiar.
Way
So
back.
there's 5 games in this series, not including their spin-offs. And this is the OG. And I played a little bit of the second one, like years and years ago. First time we recorded this, I talked a little bit about the history of like how this game was made. I should probably talk a little bit about the game itself, though.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a turn-based JRPG through and through. Like it's a pure blood in the sense, kind of like Final Fantasy VI or Chrono Trigger even, and it actually borrows a lot of elements from a lot of those games. It's made by Konami. The music in it is fantastic. It's the same composer that did some games like Contra 3, like a lot of like seminal Konami games, and the game kind of takes place. It's there's 108 characters in it, like that you can recruit to your party, right?
Okay.
So there's also, I don't know if you guys have ever played a Saturn game called Dragon Force. It's
Oh yes.
it's kind of like a tactical combat game with
Yes.
like armies and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
there's army battles in Suikoden as well. Yeah, there's a lot and also there's permadeath elements that we were talking about earlier. Those are in this game as well. It's really good. It's really really well done. There's some frustrating bits, obviously, being mid 90s, but inventory management's a bit of a chore and stuff like that. But the story and everything else is fantastic. Like I'm on the Wikipedia right now. I can see why Game Informer ranked it as the 82nd best game ever.
There you go. There you go.
Wow.
But no,
that's saying a lot.
Yeah, it is. It's saying a lot. I don't know why I picked that of all the stats here, but anyways, it's really, I'm really enjoying it. I put quite a few hours into it on the Vita, and it's perfect to pick up and play on the go. The next game on my list I haven't had a lot of fun with, and regardless of whether or not I'm playing it on the go or sitting on the couch, but Super Mario 3D All Stars. Like, what happened, Nintendo? Like, why? It's failing as a collection. The games individually aren't the best versions of them. Like, they really didn't update a lot in these games. So there's like audio glitches in Mario 64. There's a lot of issues. I don't know.
Well, like you said last time, why didn't they just port the DS version of Mario 64?
It's way better.
Yeah.
But the DS essentially uses the same processor as an N64.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and it's got more characters. It's got extras. It's got all kinds of great stuff in there. But anyways, Mario 64 on this collection it's still 4x3. There's audio lag, and I can't get it out of my head. I just frustrates it now that I know that it's there. I've ruined it all for you guys now. My apologies, but you'll never play it, so don't worry about it. And the controls in Sunshine were ultra frustrating. And as for Galaxy, like, that one is decent. It is a decent version of Galaxy. I can't really compare it. I never played the original, but I'm having fun with Galaxy. But the second one isn't on there. It's not even a complete All-Stars collection. I don't know. It feels rushed and half-assed. Sorry.
Yeah. But I think, like Rob and I were talking before, the inability to invert the hose in Sunshine, your water sprayer, is just...
Yeah.
Well, did you guys see after we
Yeah.
tried to record this yesterday, they released the patch that's going to let you do that.
Yes.
Which is something that shouldn't have really needed a patch. Could have just been put in first.
Yeah.
In an $80 game, but yeah, $80 Canadian. Sorry, folks.
Yeah, but I mean, and as for extras in the All Stars collection, it's vacant. There's a soundtrack for each game, and that's it. Like even just the title screen, it's just like, here it is. Play one of these games or listen to this music. That's it. Like, I've seen Nintendo come out with collections for like less beloved franchises, like Mega Man, or I guess that would be Capcom, but Kirby is like another one where like they had like a fantastic collection, and it's like a celebration of the history of those games, and this is not that. Even the original Mario All-Stars had so much more.
Yes.
Like they rebuilt all of the sprites, right? Like it was amazing, and it still holds up to this day. And I don't know, I just like when fan modifications are in better states than the release of what Nintendo put out, it makes you wonder. It's a little frustrating.
Well, to be fair to Nintendo, I mean, they really didn't know that this 35th anniversary was coming.
Yes, true.
They haven't been hyping it up for X amount of months, and
yeah.
Speaking of that, sorry, go ahead, David.
No, you're good. Go, Brett.
I was just going to mention that now that we're on this, just before the show, I was actually eating dinner, watching a bit of TV, and there was a TV commercial for this.
I've seen it.
You see it? And the guy's like, "Oh, these are my favorite games from my childhood." And I'm like, the guy's like, you're starting to gray. He's probably in his mid-40s. And I'm like, those games weren't all that long ago. I think you got your timelines wrong there. And, and they're just like, "Oh my God, this game's so good. And yeah, I'm having so much fun." I'm just sitting there going,
Yeah, so didn't have a lot of fun with that. But I have had a lot of fun with Yakuza 0 on Gamepass.
Segue. Look at that segue.
Oh, yeah.
So smooth.
Yakuza 0. This is some good Sega goodness here. I don't know if anyone's played any of the Yakuza games, but there's 6 in the original series, I guess you would call it. And Yakuza 0 is a prequel that takes place before all of them in the 80s. So it's kind of it's an open world action adventure, more so beat 'em up, that takes place in Japan in the 1980s, and it's good. It's good. It reminds me a little bit of Shenmue on the Dreamcast, but but in the sense where I remember a Penny Arcade cartoon with Shenmue, and he was like, "I must avenge my father's death, but first I must play with this toy or play some pool, like
drive this forklift."
Yeah, exactly. Right? So there.
When he's walking around like for the whole game, going, "Do you know where any sailors are? Are there any sailors around?"
So the distractions in this game are abundant, and they're fun. Everything from batting cages to like you can enter like a remote control car like racing league to like. It's all over the place, and the gameplay itself is actually quite good. Yeah, sure, there's some invisible walls here and there and that kind of stuff, but it's really good, and it's actually made me really excited for Yakuza Like a Dragon, which is being released as a launch title on the next gen systems. So that's what I'm looking forward to on the Series X is Yakuza Like a Dragon, which is they're actually diverging away from the beat 'em up style, and it's going to be a turn-based RPG. But and just with the humor and everything that they've done with it, I'm really looking forward to it. So that's kind of what I've been playing the last little while.
Especially the drinking games and the sake bars.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's I'd always been under the impression it was kind of like a GTA type game, like Grand Theft Auto.
Because of the ads, I think.
Yeah, it's a little bit more structured than GTA. Like hey, how's it going? She hadn't been here yet today, so she has to do her cameo on the podcast. But
absolutely.
Yeah, But anyways, it's a little bit more linear than that. The game does open up quite a bit, but I can see why there's comparisons with those. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's much smaller in scale than something like a GTA 5.
I was looking through my backlog of games I have on my PS4, and I have two of them. I think it's 4 and 5 that came out as PS Plus titles, or they
Of
came
course you do. Well,
in a
yeah,
bundle.
don't go
Yeah.
there for a second.
So now that I got into those games, I was kind of curious the order to play them in. So Yakuza 0 you can play first. It's a prequel. Then 1 and 2 were actually remastered and released as Yakuza Kiwami 1 and 2. So that's like remastered versions of the first and second.
Ah.
Yeah. And,
So is Zero on Game Pass?
yeah.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And I think I've seen that Kiwami's coming soon.
Yeah, exactly.
Or something. So, okay, cool. Well, I'll have to give that a try.
Yeah, that's where I got to play it. And hell of a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Cool. Is that all you got for us, Damon?
Yeah, that's what I've been playing.
All right, Brent, why don't you tell us what you've been up to?
Oh, me?
Yeah.
Just like, wait a minute, me? Well, I'll shorten one thing I was going to say about one game, just because Damon mentioned something that I've been noticing a lot lately. Turn-based RPGs are making a massive comeback in the last few years. It's like everything's going turn-based RPG, or that has an element to it, and I, for one, am happy with this. I mean, it's one of my favorite types of games, and yeah, they're just popping up all over the place now. And whereas they kind of disappeared for the longest time, and everything was like first-person shooters. So,
Yeah.
kind of happy for this resurgence.
Absolutely, right?
Oh, definitely. So what have I been playing? I have been returning to Final Fantasy 15 yet again. I'm determined I'm going to finish the game someday. It is incredibly long with all the side stories and meandering, and I love the game. I mean, I just think if they had, tightened the game up a little bit, tightened the story, the pacing, and made the maps a little bit smaller, to kind of drive the story in a more linear fashion, but still give you a bit of free roam, it could have been one of like the seminal, Final Fantasy games. And now it's kind of like, some people love it, a lot of people hate it. I mean, I personally am quite happy with it, and even though I love it, I don't think it's something that I would ever go back and play again, just because it would probably take forever. But I do still love the game.
It's a big game. Big.
It is. It's massive. Yeah, I barely put a dent in it, and I've got like 115 hours in.
Oof.
Yeah. So, yeah, brutally large, but still quite love it. Other thing I've been playing is kind of, going back to the old PSP roots and playing Metal Gear Acid, which I think, as I was saying before, almost 20 years, and I still haven't been able to finish the game. Something happens to a PSP, the UMD gets damaged. So I'm bound and determined to actually finish it and then play the sequel, which came out shortly after, that I still haven't touched because I wanted to finish the first one.
Is it a straight up Metal Gear adventure, or is it something different?
It is not, and I was gonna get to that. It is a turn-based strategy game, done with decks of cards. So basically, what you do is you have your turn. Things are based on cost. So when you and the NPCs do different types of moves, each card has a cost to them, depending whether you use the card for an action, like body armor, or to shoot a gun, or to throw a grenade, or just use that card because they can also be used for movement. Each of that has a cost per turn.
Okay.
So the more cost you incur per turn, the longer it takes your next turn to come around again, based on the NPC's incurred cost. So you can kind of fiddle the system a bit by like doing one thing or doing nothing and then ending your turn, and then, causing the NPCs to actually do their thing so you can watch their patterning, what they're doing, and try and sneak around them, and, pretty much standard Metal Gear fashion. But really fascinating little game for its time, and I'm surprised they, never redid them, never remade them. they just kind of almost disappeared into obscurity, except for the fans of the game. But I think it would actually be a great game on the Switch, but I don't think we'll ever see that. Even though people have been asking for it.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm bound and determined to actually finish that game finally. And the other big thing I'm playing, which is, oddly enough, one of the games that I'm probably most excited for this year. I'm sure there's going to be lots of other stuff that I'll get excited for as well, but so far this year, it's been a game on the Switch, but it's also on all systems and on mobile. And it actually started out as an iOS game. It's called Armello. And again, turn-based strategy stuff, but the way it's designed and implemented, it's probably the closest thing you can actually get to like a tabletop role-playing game, in a video game. And, lots of very strategic battles. The whole game's turns revolve around like day and night cycles. And as the day and night cycle changes, your powers and ability also change too. So you could be about to do something in the daytime, and then the NPC will take their turn, and then you actually lose that ability. So you have to change your strategy on the fly, and it allows some random encounters just to be handled by dice rolls almost, depending on your stats and the NPC that you're encountering on their stats. And very deep, very intricate little game that once you get past its learning curve, it's a hell of a lot of fun. And not only do you get to play against NPCs, you can actually get to play against, turn-based battles with other actual live players.
Oh.
So, yeah. I don't know how many people will be playing on the Switch. It is on PC and on console. And I think maybe on PC there might actually be a lot of other people to play with.
Okay.
Which is why, once I get used to the game and actually get good at it, I plan on seeing, when it goes on sale on Steam and picking it up there and actually, trying to go head-to-head with some other players in battle. But absolutely fascinating game, and it's the developer's first game.
Oh.
And,
wow.
They just hit the mark dead on. So I've been having a hell of a lot of fun with that. And, a portable D&D style role-playing game on the Switch. It really works. And it works well.
Well, I still have it written down here as a game to check out.
Awesome.
Haven't had a chance to, but
sounds
good.
Yeah, I got it on sale. Keep an eye out for a sale. It's definitely worth its regular price, but, sales are always good. And,
absolutely.
I definitely think you could. It's more of a leisurely paced game, so it's something to play when you're just like chilling out and relaxing. It's not like very high powered and intense, but it is very deep.
Okay.
Yeah. And
awesome.
That's pretty much it that I've been playing.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna go next. Make Rob go last.
Poor Rob.
You know what they say about saving the best, right? It's
Oh, nice.
So I finished Control this week finally. I've been playing it since June, and I've been kind of savoring it. I play like a couple hours a week and just kind of continue on. So it took me, according to my save file, it was about 32 hours into it. And I have to say, the last two levels of this game are some of the most fun I've ever had in video games, particularly the second last level.
Yeah, I was just saying I've been waiting for you to get to that so we can talk about it offline here, but
it's like it's the perfect culmination of everything you've worked up to in that game, that second last level. And like, I'm not going to give anything away, but play the game to get to this second last level.
There may or may not be a cameo by Motley Crue members. And I'll leave it at that.
Yeah.
I was going to say Nikki Sixx, but is he dead?
No.
Okay,
No,
he's died several times though. Just never permanently. Okay, he's like a final boss. He's like a final boss in a video game.
You haven't seen my final form.
And
Sorry, Ryan, keep going.
Yeah, even the ending of the game was amazing. The credit roll, yeah. I can see why it was on so many people's best game of the year last year. And, like typical, keeping it current. So, but yes, Control, highly, highly recommend. Yeah, I guess highly, highly recommend if you're into third-person action and unique powers and just cool X-File-y stuff.
And rays. So many rays being
And
traced.
so many arrays being traced.
Well, I loved Quantum Break, so I know a lot of people didn't, but I did, so definitely looking forward to Control.
Sure.
Next up, I also finished Bulletstorm this week. I was off last week and was able to fit in a lot of video game playing, and finally wrapped up Bulletstorm, playing it on the Switch. And as I've mentioned a couple times now, it's the Duke of Switch version where you get to play as Duke Nukem as the main character. And they did such a good job with it, like just having him kind of playing along with the story, but then like when things get really serious, he's like, I'm not even supposed to be here. I don't know why you're dragging me into this. And, like it's just, and the game itself is bat poop crazy. It like the set pieces in it, like every other level is like just tops the previous one as an epic like sci-fi set piece. I can see like it's an over 10-year-old game. Like I think it's pushing 12 years old. And I mean there was a couple little janky parts, but for the most part it was a pretty spectacular experience. I can see why they would remake this now. Also the company who made it, People Can Fly, the developer, they have another big shooter coming out here right away. It was supposed to be out before Christmas, but it's been delayed. I can't remember the name of it, but
oh god, yeah, I know what you're talking about.
I will. People Can Fly Games.
Oh, Cyberpunk. Oh. No.
Outriders.
Outright.
Oh, okay, right,
Yeah.
right, yeah.
I was really looking forward to that.
They were also a developer on Fortnite, apparently.
Oh, really?
So, yeah. Or one of the developers. So, yeah, they've done some stuff.
Seen some things.
Seen some things.
Stuff.
So on top of playing obscene amounts of No Man's Sky and Forza Horizon 4, I also fit in Grounded. I played the demo of that, and yeah, I honestly can't wait for the full version of this game to come out. It's really good. Like this first level is so polished. Like, there's some control choices I kind of question, but overall, I mean, it's just little picky things I got. I think it's going to be a huge, monstrous hit when it eventually does come out.
Huge monsters.
Huge, monstrous.
Huge spiders, wolf spiders tearing little kids apart.
Yeah, I'll play that. I'm gonna like make liberal use of the arachnophobia slider, so I can turn the spiders into nondescript jelly beans.
They're just the characters from Fall Guys.
Yeah.
Well, it's
That's
really
still
not so bad.
That still shriek and are just as deadly, but
They look like jelly beans.
yeah, but they're just blobs. Yeah,
Well, I mean, it's not so bad until they actually like one-shot you from like half a mile away.
Yep.
Yeah. You're wondering what happened.
That's like every time I've played a multiplayer shooter. Running around and then I'm getting teabagged. It's horrible. Does that happen in Grounded? Is there teabagging in Grounded, or does the spider?
You can actually
spider
you can actually level up your teabagging.
Does the nondescript jelly bean teabag you?
Dude.
So I'll try this as a segue. You got to do a little teabagging, Rob, when we
Was Was that Resident Evil?
That was not what I was expecting.
When you and I played some Borderlands 2 this past week for my
Nice.
backlog of good intentions, I own I own Borderlands 2 in 4 different spots, and yeah, I've never really played it. My file said I had 45 minutes or something when we fired it up there. Like that
Yep.
that's the most I've played Borderlands 2. So, I brought Rob in because he's our resident Borderlands 2 expert, and after one of the big kills, Rob got over there and teabagged the guy. I was so proud of him. He just dished out his own bit of justice.
That's right. That's right.
As Eye of the Tiger played in the background.
That's right. do, 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 do. I was just weeping openly. How's it feel?
How
Damn
you like
kid.
me now? So this is a good opportunity to hand it over to you because that was the last thing I played last week.
Sure. Where do we go with that? Yeah, so after that, like I was telling the guys, after playing some Borderlands 2 with Ryan, I celebrated by playing 15 or so more hours of Borderlands 2. It's a little-known indie game that, if you guys haven't heard, there's a little developer called Gearbox came up with. It's all right. No one wants to hear about that. Got signed out of my Google Drive. Oh crap! Got no notes.
I just got signed out as well.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to say
Don't freak
Stadia
out. Don't freak out. Remember your training. Video games. Video games. Okay, it's
That was
back.
odd.
Whew, all right. Yeah. So also, Borderlands 3. I played a little bit of that because it's like 2, but more. They announced for the new season pass for season 2, new skill trees. Each character got a new skill tree, so had to try those all out a little bit. More of the same. But that's Borderlands. I've talked way too much about it, so I won't carry on too long with it. But also tried out a game on Game Pass called The Swords of Ditto Mormos Curse, which has been absolutely a great time. It's been out a while, I guess, but it's a Zelda roguelike game with little cartoony characters, and you repeatedly get killed in a horrible fashion. And it's the idea of it is that that Mormo is the bad person, and every 100 years, the sword chooses somebody to help fight the bad guy there, and you've got 24 hours to build yourself up to the level that you need to take on the boss. And in 24 hours, if you're still alive, you take her on no matter what. There's no getting around it. You just stop whatever you're doing, and you go fight her. If you win, you win, and if you lose, you start again. So it's got leveling up. It's got dungeons. It's a great little game. It's by Devolver Digital, I believe, published it. So it's on Game Pass. So go try it, because it'll cost you nothing if you have it, and if you don't have Game Pass, you should get Game Pass.
Just get Game Pass.
Try it
it's
for
almost
$1.
yeah, exactly. And I mean, it's not as good as Stadia, but nothing is.
Right. Yeah.
Right. Said nobody ever.
I'm publishing that clip, Rob, by the way.
Oh,
Yeah.
Maybe Alex Hutchison will say something about us. That'll be. Well, hey, bad publicity is just as good as any, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then shut up about all that, and go get Star Wars Squadrons, because I almost didn't make the meeting today because I was playing this. Epic had some sort of a coupon for $14 off, so I went and got it on the Epic store. And after 45 easy minutes of remembering my origin password and trying to log back in again, best launcher in the business. Holy crap!
So wait a second. Sorry, I'll just break your stream there. So
Yes.
So
I know what you're saying, and yes,
and it does.
Yep.
So
you get it on Epic, and even you open up your Epic launcher, start it, it opens up your origin launcher.
I'm looking for something to throw. Like,
That then opens up your Steam.
come
launcher.
on.
Push syncs to your Steam, opens up your ICQ.
And it pops up in Game Pass on PC.
That's right. So once you're in, I'm about an hour and a half in. This is amazing. Like, I've done the story, and I'm trying it out on story mode because I don't have fancy flight sticks and stuff like that, and so I just want to see the story. So story so far has been amazing. You go back and forth between the Empire and the Rebels, following the same story, and I don't want to get into anything about that because it's been great writing so far, and it's just the graphics are amazing. Like, it handles just as good as I remember X-Wing versus TIE Fighter, which I know was 380 years ago. But it plays the same. I was bouncing shields and engines and diverting power to lasers, and everything about it is so well tuned and plays really well. I'm still shocked it was not an $80 game. Like, I'm sure it's not as long as maybe some $80 games. Like, maybe that's kind of the thing behind it, but it's absolutely amazing. It makes me want to go get a Quest, like an Oculus Quest, to try this out, because you're in the cockpit, and in every flight game, you're kind of like, oh, he's over here, and then you overshoot him, so then you're going back, then you overshoot him, and then you're going back. If you had yourself a VR helmet, you can actually turn your head and look around, so you can see him as he's up here, just out of the view of like the regular system. And it's so good, and it's EA, so I'm just waiting for them to do something to like make me regret buying it.
Oh,
It hasn't happened yet.
I hope not. I really want that game.
It's like if I paid $40 for it after that Epic Store coupon. I think there's some sort of a random Halloween coupon. Like, Ryan said he didn't get it, but it showed up in mine. Maybe there's different days or whatever. So it's $40 Canadian, and worth every penny. I would really recommend. And if anyone out there gets it and wants to do some squadroning with us, hit us up on the email. We'll set up the Discord. We have a Discord server, I think, that Ryan set up.
Yeah.
I don't know how that magic works, but evidently you can talk to each other while you're playing. Great technology using the internet. So if you've got an AOL disk, kick it around, and you got some free hours and you want to try it out with us, send us an electronic mail on your Netscape navigator, and
don't forget your 9-digit ICQ code so that we can absolutely verify this.
That's right. That's right. And turn off your call waiting before you get on net, because that will screw your game up.
Because that'll just bump you right off there.
That's right. That's right. So stop what you're doing right now. Go buy Squadrons and let us know if you have it, and we'll play. That's Go Star Wars.
I'm down.
Go Star Wars.
So
the only disparaging news I've heard about this is like, it's actually like it's getting great reviews and everything, but they're not going to do anything more with it.
Yes.
There's not going to be any DLC, or like they'll do some fixes and stuff if needed, but this is it.
They've said once you do the story, that is it. And the Squadrons, I guess you've got that for your multiplayer stuff, and I think it's a lot easier to accept that when it's a $50 game.
Absolutely.
Like, okay, if I get 15-20 hours out of this for the story, and I can do some multiplayer, I'll feel like I got my money's worth. So
absolutely.
Yep. And that's what I've been playing.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Well, we didn't have a whole lot to say, I think, last time, but I thought we'd just take a quick minute to see if anyone had any last-minute news they wanted to talk about or share about the PS5 or the Xbox Series X coming up. Because by the time we're all together again, Damon will have his hands on his.
And you'll never see Damon again.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited. Like I said before, my pre-order hasn't been canceled yet.
Awesome.
So that's super happy because I guess that's the thing. But
It is. They've been randomly canceling a lot of pre-orders on both systems.
yeah, I've seen some of the influencers. They have their review Xboxes, like they've been opening them and stuff like that. Like the retail packaging is all out there and everything. So I'll do a little unboxing as well. So that'll be pretty
Awesome.
slick. Yeah,
That'd be great. Yeah.
Was that a serious picture earlier that you guys shared, where the packaging difference between the Xbox and the PS5?
that was a screenshot from the IGN unboxing of the PS5.
Okay, I got to look that up. I must have missed that.
Yeah, like wow, the Xbox. It's a presentation. Opening that box.
It's got like it's like at the tilt top box, and it's got the Power Your Dreams like wrap and stuff. And
I totally expected to hear like the Halo theme while it's opening and everything. Yeah. It was that grandiose looking.
Yeah.
And then the PS5 is just shoved into a box with some
egg crate.
Yeah, egg crate.
Oh man, that's funny.
Like, and it didn't even look like it fit in those egg crates very well. Like it, like.
And the retail box around that is enormous. Like it is a huge package.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you guys kind of saw this, but the cardboard looked incredibly thin for that box. Like super, super, super thin. Like it wouldn't take an impact for protection.
I'm just going to share the screen here quick because I've got the picture up.
Okay. Yeah.
There we go. Oop. All right, here we go. Is that showing on your guys' screen or?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the top one, of course, Xbox. Bottom one, a Blu-ray player from Walmart. No, that's I guess that's the PlayStation. That's
yeah. It does, and like I said, look at that super thin cardboard. Like,
yeah,
that's gonna get damaged all to hell just in transport.
I just kind of wonder if maybe that's not the final box. Maybe that was a reviewer's.
Not its final form.
It's not its final form. It's not great.
That's what they sent IGN.
Yeah, that's a pretty fair enough. Oh man,
lowered expectations.
Yeah.
Here we go.
So hopefully it's just not finished, or just the preview box.
Preview box.
Yep.
I don't know. So this is the weirdest console launch of all of them so far. I mean, there's really no big titles driving either one. Nothing that's like there's no console seller. You know, there's ones that people prefer. Yeah, it's just so weird. It's so damn weird.
There was something interesting, if I can segue into something here quick.
No, we don't segue on this show, Rob.
Not well. We don't segue very well at all. And it's funny just the way the timing of everything here comes out. But did you guys see AMD's new RDNA 2 cards, the 6000 series today? Mm-hmm. They were showing off the numbers from that and how it's comparing just a clock to the 3000 cards and how well it's looking for what it does. So it really bodes well because both of these have RDNA 2 cards, I believe, right? Okay, Brent, I think you sent something that said that PlayStation was like RDNA 1.
Yeah, it's kind of boosted and it's got some softness like RDNA 1.5 kind of thing. And I was seeing talks about that in articles for like months and months now. So they're saying it's not like a true RDNA 2, whereas the Xbox is.
And it's funny because the difference, like some of the specs, like the ray tracing abilities and everything else the card's going to do, the RDNA 2 looks absolutely freaking mind-blowing. And there are already people calling out that it's actually surpassing NVIDIA for the first time since...
Oh, wow.
A long time. It's been a long time. So, because they're taking advantage, and there will also be boosts if you have an AMD processor, like the new gen processor. It can actually share memory bandwidth with your onboard memory and increase the video capabilities. And now the speed is a lot lower on your PC, but it does boost, and they're looking at numbers at about 10 to 15% on top of what the card
Wow.
already does.
Mm.
And spec-wise, it looks like their 6900 and the 3090 are almost dead even, with the 6900 pulling ahead a little bit, which is unheard of, right? Like, I mean, NVIDIA dropped those cards and everyone's like, this is the greatest video gaming we'll ever do.
Yeah.
So, long segue back to coming around, it's really more exciting about the Xbox Series X because the system by itself is about the price of one of those video cards.
Yeah.
So it really does look like that might be the best way to play some of these games and get the effects of these video cards, right? And I'm very excited to see what you capture for us there, Damon, and what you find with it. So,
I'm excited.
and we all trust you a lot more than those IGN and PC Gamer guys, like.
In that cardboard box.
The cardboard box. That's right.
Box A.
Yep.
Well, they're saying that the Xbox can actually do that that memory swapping as well.
Oh, that's yeah.
Yeah, I was reading that just like a couple of days ago. So
that makes the price just seem so much more reasonable, right, for what you're getting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting.
So on November 10th, I'm gonna give it a try here on the EB Games website. I'm gonna try and do the all access.
Oh, you're back,
Nice.
eh? You've come back to that side, maybe?
I've come back because I was thinking about it.
So is that when it's going to be available? Sorry.
Yeah, that's when
Confirmed?
they're starting to.
Okay.
It says on the web. That's when it says on the website here that's when it'll be available.
I haven't paid attention to it in a couple of weeks.
Yeah. So the way I was looking at it, they have it listed as at $39.99 a month.
Canadian?
But Canadian, yep,
Cool.
for the Series X.
Not bad.
Yeah.
Less than I thought it would be. I thought it would be at least closer to 50.
The Series S is the 29.
Yeah.
$29.99.
$10
But,
a
Game Pass. Yeah, that comes
yeah.
with Game Pass too. So
Yeah.
I mean,
and everything else.
Yeah. That's
Everything.
so I wonder if you're gonna like. That was the way I was looking at it. I mean, I'm paying my $17 right now a month.
Mhm.
Just subtract that from the $39.99, and it just seems silly not to.
Yeah. Totally.
And that's what they're counting on, right? That's,
Yeah.
and actually, that's their new slogan. I just read that. It just seems silly not to.
I thought it would stop being dumb. I thought that was.
No, that's Stadia's
That's
theme. Why are you so dumb? Stop being dumb.
Just use it.
Don't be a noob.
So yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, I don't have news, but I did want to pass a quick one by you guys. How do you guys feel about BR?
I like it. Yeah.
No, I mean, like, who's
See
having
you later,
experience
folks.
with
Good
the
night.
fun-
That would
No,
have
'cause
been a great cut right there. I like it.
it's like, that would have been a perfect cut. No, other, for our viewers out there, I was actually last night thinking about getting one for my PC, like an
Okay.
Oculus.
For the PC? Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
I was actually watching one of my favorite YouTubers, and he had one of the newer ones and was playing with it, and was just having a freaking blast. And I was like, I think I'm going to try it.
Yeah, I think VR will be massive once the consumer price comes down a little bit, and then people will jump on. Like, that's when it'll be massive. It's just there's a huge. It seems like to me, anyways. There's a pretty big barrier for people to get into that.
Yeah, it's an entry barrier for the price,
Yeah.
and it is
Oh, you
pricey.
bet.
Well, it's the Quest? Is the Quest the one you don't need a PC for, where it's all built into the headset?
Yeah, the Quest, you don't need wires, I think, right? Or
Yeah,
Oh
the
no,
one
no,
was
you're
wired.
absolutely right. No, you are.
Yeah,
Because they talked about playing it on a beach, right?
Yeah, it's a standalone. That's the direction that it needs to continue in. Because also with that one, you don't need any sensors. You just put the helmet on, it turns on a camera, you draw out your barriers, and it recognizes them. But yeah, like right now, like you go with some of the other ones, like you got to put up sensors, and you got to have some room. You got to have some room to be able to do this.
Yeah, you know what? You're right, because it's got storage. I'm just looking at the Quest 2 here on their website, and it's $4.59 Canadian, and
Yeah.
you get everything, right? Like that's
Is that controllers too, or is that just a headset?
that includes the 2 controllers, the headset, the link cable,
Oh, and a
which
cable.
oh no, am I lying about that's power adapter? The link cable might be extra.
Yeah.
Yes, it is. The link cable's extra.
Oh.
Which
But
I've
you
heard
can-
is somehow proprietary, even though it's just a USB-C connection.
It's fiber optic.
Oh, is it?
What?
That's what it says. Yeah. So that would
Oh.
make it very proprietary.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay.
And it's only $110 the cable. So
Ouch.
But yeah, so you could get into something that you don't have to hook up to your computer for $4.59.
Yep.
Which, I mean,
It's getting there.
yeah.
It's
Yeah.
getting there. Like,
I mean, I dropped almost 300 on the PSVR, and that was just the headset. Like
Yep.
I used my old controllers, my old Move controllers. I didn't buy a new set.
yeah, and if you go with the Quest, the controllers are a lot better. You can go wireless, like Ryan was saying there. It's definitely getting to that point where it's a lot more easy to get into a house. Get
I've even
into
seen, like,
your house, not
Power
into a
glove,
house.
like an old like Nintendo Power Glove style thing that was actually usable as a controller with it. Which I thought was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, you bet.
But like for the PSVR stuff, I've played some amazing stuff
Mhm.
on PSVR and had some really great experiences, and I could see them being even better with improved graphics of like a PC one or anything like that. So apparently it went on sale, or you could start pre-ordering today the adapter cable so that you can use your PSVR on the PS5. Apparently that went on sale today.
Ah,
So
they were saying it was, fully compatible, but you need the cable.
you need the adapter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, still not so bad as compared to actually having to buy a whole new VR set.
Mm-hmm.
The cable was $500.
Yeah. Well, if that's everything anyone's got to say on the next gen here, I think we can wrap up our episode. We were much more successful this time because I hit record right at the beginning. Yeah. I was looking around for some paper. I was going to make a dunce hat to wear this episode.
And I actually missed out on my one joke because I forgot, because Damon's cat kind of jumped back in the screen again. And I was going to make a deja vu comment.
Oh, yeah.
Hey,
Deja vu.
And
well
I totally,
done, yeah.
I totally
Yeah,
forgot it. I was like, damn it.
Good callback. Good
Nice.
callback. We get that
Yeah.
one.
Oh, man.
Well, thanks again, guys, for coming on. We always have a blast when we all get together, and even doing it a second time was fun.
Oh, you bet.
Right.
And you can catch more of our content at thegrumpyoldgamers.com. That's where we post all of our original content. And look us up on Facebook. It's definitely where the most activity is, and we got links to everything from there. And oh yeah, if you want to contact us, send us an email to makeusgrumpy@gmail.com. Love to hear from you. And that's all I got. So have a good night, everybody.
Have a good night.
Take care. Bye-bye.